You know, every time I hear this phrase come out of a politician's mouth, I feel a deep personal betrayal, of the caliber that I cannot even, you know. When I was a kid, I always had all these old men telling me that it's going to be, some of them would be nice. Oh, it's going to be you taking charge of the country. You'll be taking control of all that. Some of them were just outright blatant. Yeah, you kid, you're gonna be in the cubicle. You're gonna be the one in that fucking, in the wagey cagey for you little kids. You're gonna be in that, you know. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then, you know, I grow up, I get to the age in which, hell, I guess you could even say I'm a bit of a late bloomer in regards to getting work. And suddenly now it's, oh, we don't, we gotta, import massive amounts of people from the third world to not even the good parts of the third world, mind you. We're talking about Somali pirates, and fucking, cartel gang members and shit. I mean, just look at Europe. Every day it's a new mass terror attack. Just about of one stripe or the other, and it feels, like I said, a deep and personal betrayal of, practically the entirety of the Western world. You got these people who are, they'll sit here and they get their kids ready, to go into the workforce, only to immediately fill up the workforce with tons of people. They come. Put it simply, Mexicans and Indians do not hire twink-ass gay white boys like myself. That just does not happen. Flamboyant-ass people like me do not get hired by those kind of people. And you can say it all you want. You can say, oh, Tony, they're wrong. They'll hire you. I've seen how these people generally think of people like me, and even if they did hire me, I don't imagine it's going to be a very pleasant experience, Not just in regards of work, but I don't think those fucking people are going to want to pay me, much of anything. I mean, you can look at how people of the third world view Americans in general, and then, you try to bloom, and then, I mean, my parents didn't, bring all these people these people who hate us to our country, but, you have kids, right? They're not fucking old, because when I hear this phrase, aging population, I mean, sure, the replacement rate and all that jazz, and dating being a bit difficult, it's kind of difficult to have kids, but a lot of these people either did or do, depending, whatever phrase is applicable for these people, have kids. And some of their kids have kids, So why don't you, I don't know, prepare those kids to take your place in the job market, huh? I mean, these people, all these politicians and people talk about, the way they talk, it sounds like they're ready to just, that, there's going to be like a mass heart attack epidemic and the entirety of the United States is going to become depopulated. The way they talk about it, they're acting like that once they die of old age or whatever gets them, there's going to be nobody left in the United States. And so far as I'm aware, coronavirus didn't depopulate the United States. We didn't have, there's not entire states that have become empty, practically, you know. And, people can tell me about a lot of people dying. Look, you know, look at the reaction to the bubonic plague, That was like 2/3 of the entirety of the European continent died. And they didn't import massive amounts of people who hated them. And you can tell, you might have a foreign friend who likes you, as however weird you are. And he might even like me, I don't know. But let's be frank with ourselves. People talk a lot about how Americans hate gays and hate fucking, they practically despise the very existence of people like me, people like you. But, we didn't have mass emo killings. We didn't have mass killings of gays anytime recent. We didn't have, there aren't, there used to not be race riots. America, for as bad as it is not genocidally hateful against its youth, But simply put it, most old hat Mexican people don't like twink-ass gay white boys or lesbian women or anything like that. You can tell me about how your 24-year-old Mexican friend, loves gay people. But, I've looked at Europe. And hell, I've even, I've heard gay Mexicans and really Mexican youth in general. I've heard, African. I've seen the problems with these people, especially with the youth and their opinions of their older generation. And put it simply, if you think your neighbors hate you, wait until you get some fucking Somali pirate or Pakistani goat herder who usually just kills white people in the same way they would kill some fucking coyote murdering all your chickens or something. Or I guess going with an African example, they look at you like a jackal. To them, you are a jackal. And, to have all of our politicians decide that that's what they're going to replace themselves, I guess, because I'm 25. Most people would consider me, the age I started working as to be enormously late. And I've still got a long time to go, and I'd imagine you do. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know who's watching this. Some fucking Fed or something, I don't know. But, even if you are a Fed, you have kids, right? You got all your fucking politicians wanting to replace your kids with either... Yeah, I've been a bit harsh. But even with those people who are good, fundamentally, they have replaced your position in the job market with their position in the job market. And a lot of those people are willing to work for dirt cheap and don't mind being exploited. You get rid of most of the unions of the United States, and we would still have better working conditions than most of these people are used to. And most of those people, worked for American businesses that left here because of the unions. And all those workings that, they couldn't pull a Banana Republic, and then they left. And now all these politicians are taking all these people from places that, it's not just that they've been exploited. A lot of these people don't see a problem with it. They just view it as normal. How do you think American businesses, the ones that didn't leave specifically to do all that exploitation, how are they going to go with their, you know, conditions? And that's assuming that you can even get into one of them, assuming that there's any place left to hire you. And, people call me racist, but, they'll call me racist right up until it's talking about, me going into the job market, oh, well, if job markets and demographics aren't fine, well then hire me, huh? Why don't you want to hire me, instead of a brown person, I mean, there should be enough jobs for both of us to go into your job market, huh? You should have enough money to hire both of us, don't you? Oh, you don't? You'd rather him because, choose him because there's only so many positions you have? Well, isn't that crazy, huh? Isn't that just surprising? And, maybe, you gotta, I mean, hell, I don't have enough time to talk about all of it, but there are a lot of problems. And I don't think importing millions of people who, I'll talk about it in different videos, but they don't like us. They don't like you. They definitely, you might think they will. They're not going to like you. And I find it that our politicians focus on replacing the aging population in this manner is enormously, it is a betrayal. Plain and simple. It's a betrayal of your kids, a betrayal of your country, a betrayal of your values that you said you had anyways. And, it's fucking awful, It's truly a snaky thing. And I guess if you people want to talk further about it in the comments, I guess, sure, I'm almost out of space on this damn thing. But, I guess give your opinion of it. Assuming assuming I'm, still alive to respond, you never know. But, do you find it as much of a betrayal as me? Because I find it deeply and personally a betrayal, Simple and put it, It is a betrayal of your kids, because I've heard all that stuff about you'll be that, but then I also heard the same shit about people, oh, well, these kids just aren't prepared. Why don't you prepare them, huh? Teach them something. Christ almighty, Instead of importing friggin', jungle villagers and shit. Again, people can tell me about their friend who's good. But frankly, I think your friend who likes you and is a great worker is a rarity. I'm just going to say it simply. Your Somali friend, especially, who's basically practically an American in all but where he's from, is a rarity. He is not the normal. And you can look at Europe and I'll point at Europe as my proof. And I would have liked to have, went to the job market. That would have been nice. But I guess the coronavirus killed too many people, guys. We gotta replace them. You having kids. Well, I can't do that. I'm too old to have another kid. So, we gotta import some. Yeah, we gotta import them. Like fucking cows. We gotta import them to do that. Well, knowing humanity, knowing how it's going, they probably will import them for the exact same reason we do. And they fucking bon appetit, fucking, you never know. But I guess leave your opinion in the comments section. Are you as hateful towards these people as I am for this mentality? Do you view it as as evil as I view it. You know, leave your opinion. Assuming the feds haven't got to me and you know. See you next